नई शिक्षा नीति के बारे में महत्वपूर्ण बातों को आपसे साझा करूंगा, उसके बाद सर की प्रस्तुति होगी। आपको बता दें कि नई शिक्षा नीति 21वीं शताब्दी की पहली शिक्षा नीति है, जिसका लक्ष्य भारतीय शिक्षा को सामाजिक एवं आर्थिक दृष्टि से सशक्त बनाना है। शैक्षिक ढांचे 5+3+3+4 के माध्यम से शिक्षा के 4 स्तरों फाउंडेशनल, प्रिपरेटरी, मिडिल एवं सेकेंडरी को मजबूत आधार दिया गया है, जिसमें क्रमशः 3 से 5 वर्ष, 6 से 8 वर्ष, 11 से 14 वर्ष एवं 14 से 18 वर्ष के बच्चों को मनोवैज्ञानिक एवं दार्शनिक आधार पर सीखने की बात कही गई है। एनसीटीई द्वारा वर्ष 2022 तक राष्ट्रीय प्रोफेशनल मानक के विकास की बात कही गई है, जिसके लिए एनसीईआरटी, एससीईआरटी एवं शिक्षा के अन्य विशेषज्ञ संगठनों से परामर्श लिया जा रहा है। कक्षा 6 से ही वोकेशनल कोर्स शुरू होगी। इंटर्नशिप, म्यूजिक एवं आर्ट्स को बढ़ावा दिया जाएगा। शिक्षा में वर्तमान जो जीडीपी है 4.43%, उसको 6% करने की बात कही गई है, जो कि नया नहीं है, पहले से भी 6% की बात कही जाती रही है। उच्च शिक्षा के सिंगल रेगुलेटर के लिए भारतीय उच्च शिक्षा आयोग HECI के 4 स्वतंत्र इकाइयों की व्यवस्था की गई है। विनियमन के लिए राष्ट्रीय उच्चतर शिक्षा नियामक परिषद, मानक निर्धारण के लिए सामान्य शिक्षा परिषद, वित्त पोषण के लिए उच्चतर शिक्षा अनुदान परिषद एवं प्रत्यायन के लिए राष्ट्रीय प्रत्यायन परिषद की व्यवस्था की गई है। शिक्षा को गुणात्मक एवं सुधारात्मक रूप देने के लिए नेशनल रिसर्च फाउंडेशन, राष्ट्रीय छात्रवृत्ति पोर्टल, राष्ट्रीय शैक्षिक टेक्नोलॉजी, वर्चुअल लैब, क्षेत्रीय भाषाओं में ई पाठ्यक्रम एवं एकेडमिक बैंक ऑफ क्रेडिट जैसी नवीन अवधारणा को सामने लाया गया है। पाली, फारसी और प्राकृत भाषाओं को संरक्षित व संवर्धित करने के लिए इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ ट्रांसलेशन एंड इंटरप्रिटेशन की व्यवस्था की गई है। सोशली एवं इकोनॉमिकली डिप्राइव ग्रुप को मेन स्ट्रीमिंग में लाने की बात कही गई है। ग्रेजुएशन में मल्टीपल एंट्री एवं एग्जिट की व्यवस्था की गई है। इसमें 3 या 4 वर्ष के ग्रेजुएशन प्रोग्राम में छात्र कई स्तरों पर पाठ्यक्रम को छोड़ सकते हैं। इसके लिए उन्हें 1 वर्ष के बाद प्रमाण पत्र, 2 वर्ष के बाद एडवांस डिप्लोमा, 3 वर्ष के बाद ग्रेजुएशन की डिग्री एवं 4 वर्ष के बाद शोध के साथ ग्रेजुएशन की डिग्री दी जाएगी। HECI सिंगल अम्ब्रेला बॉडी के रूप में कार्य करेगी। IIT एवं IIM के समकक्ष मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी एजुकेशन एंड रिसर्च यूनिवर्सिटी MARU की स्थापना की जाएगी। भारत के एस्पिरेंट डिस्ट्रिक्ट के लिए स्पेशल एजुकेशन जोन्स एवं लड़कियों व ट्रांसजेंडर के लिए जेंडर इंक्लूजन फंड की व्यवस्था की गई है। इस प्रकार नई शिक्षा नीति भारतीय शिक्षा प्रणाली को आधुनिक एवं अद्यतन रूप देने पर बल दे रही है। शिक्षा प्रणाली में व्यापक दृष्टिकोण एवं लचीलापन व स्वायत्तता नई शिक्षा नीति की प्राथमिकता है। नई शिक्षा नीति समाज के प्रत्येक अंग को महत्व देता है। लोकतांत्रिक व समावेशी आदर्शों को स्थापित किया गया है। आपको बता दें कि यह एक ऐसी शिक्षा नीति है जिसमें प्राचीन शिक्षा प्रणाली को अपनाते हुए नवीन शिक्षा प्रणाली को आत्मसात किया गया है। भारत के शिक्षा मनीषी रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर, स्वामी विवेकानंद, महात्मा गांधी, अरविंदो घोष के शिक्षा दर्शन को आधार मानते हुए भारतीय शिक्षा प्रणाली को विस्तृत एवं सर्वव्यापक बनाने का प्रयास किया गया है। नई शिक्षा नीति में सामाजिक सांस्कृतिक अंतःक्रिया, सहयोग एवं समन्वय, निर्माण एवं उत्पादनशीलता को शिक्षा के अहम अंग के रूप में चिन्हित किया गया है। शिक्षा आदर्शवादी हो, प्रकृतिवादी हो, यथार्थवादी हो, अस्तित्ववादी हो, इन समेकित विचारों के साथ नई शिक्षा नीति मूर्त रूप ले पाई है। आइए कार्यशाला के दूसरे दिन पुनः एक बार जयंतो मुखर्जी सर के विचारों एवं सूक्ष्म अनुभव को समझने का प्रयास करते हैं। ओवर टू यू जयंतो सर।
Thank you very much, Hemanji. Thank you very much for laying down the baton for us. And मैंने एक जैसे मैंने कल आपको कंक्लूड किया था ये सेशन दैट आज हम कॉन्सेंट्रेट करेंगे एनईपी के रिफ्लेक्शंस पे, एनईपी के पॉलिसी पे, एंड कल हम बात करेंगे आप अपने इसको कैसे एनईपी के लिए रेडी कर सकते हैं। एक कंटेम्पलेशन आई थी रात को कि जब मैं आपको पॉइंटर्स शेयर कर रहा हूँ उसके बावजूद आपके लिए और क्या एक्स्ट्रा कर सकूं, बिकॉज नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 2020 एक बहुत वास्ट स्पेस है, उसको 1.5 घंटे में एक बोलते ना अक्यूमुलेट करके आपको एक्सप्लेन करना एक अलग ही एक अलग चैलेंज है। तो उसको और स्मूथ करने के लिए मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ कि आई विल गेट थ्रू द पॉइंट्स टुडे। I have set up an agenda on the chat पे एक agenda मैंने डाला है, उस agenda के points के हिसाब से हम इसको देखते रहेंगे। Plus overnight tonight I'm compiling a document, a PDF document which will be a NEP 2020 explainer document। मैं point to point explanations के साथ highlights ECC, स्कूल एजुकेशन, हायर एजुकेशन, वोकेशनल एजुकेशन, आप टीचर्स, मैनेजमेंट, एवरीथिंग, हर चीज के पॉइंटर्स बना के एक गो टू गाइड मैं आपके साथ कल आपके संस्था के साथ मैं शेयर कर लूंगा, वो आप लोग को मेल कर देंगे। ये चीज देन आप अपने साथ पूरे टाइम के लिए रख सकते हैं। नाउ बिकॉज अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स क्या होता है कि हम इधर बातचीत कर रहे हैं, मैं आपसे पॉइंटर्स शेयर करता रहूंगा, आप लोग रनिंग नोट्स में उसके पॉइंटर्स लेते रहेंगे, कुछ ना कुछ मिस हो जाएगा, कुछ ना कुछ ओवरलैप हो जाएगा। कभी कभी मैं कुछ बोल रहा हूँ तो आपने उसको ठीक करके जॉट डाउन नहीं किया है, पॉइंटर याद नहीं है, एंड यू मिस आउट ऑन समथिंग इंपॉर्टेंट। तो फ्रॉम माय डेस्क आई विल कंपाइल दिस होल थिंग सो दैट दैट वुड बी वेरी मच इन योर फेवर फॉर द नेक्स्ट सो मेनी इयर्स। इट्स लाइक अ गाइड आपके पास रखा रहेगा, आपको कभी भी रेफरेंस रखना, आप उसको रेफरेंस कर सकते हैं। तो वो चीज ऑब्वियसली कंपाइलेशन सिर्फ मेरे को कंपाइल नहीं करना है, मेरे को उसमें अपने थोड़े व्यूज भी डालने हैं। तो वो चीज मैंने कल रात से बनाना स्टार्ट किया है, आज भी मैं बनाते रहूंगा, सो दैट कल सुबह मैंने मीट यू ऑल, इट इज अवेलेबल टू यू ऑल एज एन ईमेल फॉर्मेट। 10% चांस अगर मैं आज रात को उसको कन्वर्ट नहीं कर पाया, आई विल इंश्योर दैट टुमारो इवनिंग तक इट्स ऑन शुभा मैम्स डेस्क एंड अदिति जी के डेस्क पे है, तो आप लोग देन उसको आगे you all can share it. So that's the small thing I'm doing. But I feel it can't be just, मतलब वर्कशॉप में भी आप लोग जब फेस टू फेस वर्कशॉप में भी बैठते हैं, there is some handout given ना, एक कुछ हाथ में आता है कि this is what was done. So I don't want to create a situation that just because it was online workshop you'll have nothing in front of you, because I feel PPT शेयर करके कोई फायदा नहीं होगा, इसलिए मैंने PPT को एकदम अपने पास से पॉइंटर्स रखा है। I'm not going to share a screen. I'm going to just read out the pointers and explain it in my own space. And ये जो PDF रहेगा ये आपके पास दिन एक लंबे टाइम के लिए रह सकता है, so that's easy for you also. So the only thing I'm requesting today is that when I'm speaking about the points, I would request you all to just keep on making running notes so that at least we are in the same flow. Because NEP आप समझिए, the education policy is a vast space. From early education till higher तक they have covered everything. So हम भी जब ये प्रोसेस में जा रहे हैं, मैं चाहूंगा कि मैं हर चीज, जैसे हेमंत जी started with the 5+3+3+4 space. That itself is a separate explanation altogether. जो 10+2 है उसको अभी 5+3+3+4 में हम कन्वर्ट कर रहे हैं। तो what is that? आंगनवाड़ी एंड प्री स्कूल को क्यों हम आगे लेके आ रहे हैं? Why are we making it a part of formal education? Shubhra ji, I am hoping to use the icebreakers as a small activity space so that we can do a little bit of engagement. The underlying problem is that because we have such a nice gathering, even if I do, yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, because if I do voice-based activity with everyone, it's very difficult for me to give 104 people a chance to answer. So the idea was that to do a random activity in the icebreakers and then to get you all to write something as a written assignment type coming back to me in the next 2-3 days, and I can review it and give it back to you.
That I wanted. That
Yes.
it should be some assignments in
That
the
that is
form of
that's
some
the reason the
assignments.
first icebreaker I'll do that. I will lay down that assignment so that they know what to do. That's another reason I'm sharing
Sure.
the document with you all tomorrow, because that assignment is connected to the document also. So there is a way, well, there's a method to the madness. So we'll do this together. I'm happy that some of you all have opened up your cameras on your own. I would expect others also to do it. आज आपका data हमने बचाया है. So let's let's open it up on the camera space. It's good to see some smiling faces. I know it's an evening time. You can have a cup of tea at the side, and whatever is suitable for you in terms of keeping you all energetic and through this space, because it will be a little verbatim today, unlike yesterday where we were also interacting a lot. Because now it's the policy. अभी policy breakdown करने के समय, अभी जब हमारी फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर इतनी बड़ी बजट प्रेजेंट करते आते थे, कि उनके पीछे भी सब जो अवेक रहते उनको ही रखते हैं, कि जो 8 घंटा 6 घंटा कंटिन्यूसली आंख खोल के बैठ सकते हैं. All she has to do is read the policy, read the policy, read the policy, read the policy. So breaking a government policy in 90 minutes is a task, but I'll do my best. Right? So we are looking at the national education policy. We are looking at decoding it. We're looking at how do we decode such a brilliant initiative. Now we are naming an initiative because it's a long road. So to decode that, we need to understand the aims. So what is the aim of such a policy? There are 4 major aims of NEP. One is transformation. They want to transform the way education is meted out to the audience. They want to transform the way education is rolled out in our country. And that education is from everyone. It is just not for a CBSE education or state board. It is a holistic way. And in that, what they have done is they have put the student at the center. That is the most important part, where they are saying that it's high time education is student centric. जो कल हमने रॉट लर्निंग के बारे में बात की थी, it's post that. We want to make it student centric. स्टूडेंट को इंपॉर्टेंस देके, स्टूडेंट को सेंटर में रख के, स्टूडेंट के नीड्स को समझ के एक ट्रांसफॉर्मेटिव एजुकेशन पॉलिसी हमें रोल करना है. So that's the first aim: transform education and make it student centric. Second is holistic learning. Holistic learning is something which is all round. It's just not about understanding, I said 2 + 2 4, 4 + 4 8. It's not just that. It's understanding the environment across. It's understanding mathematics at one core, simultaneously understanding science at the other core, simultaneously about understanding English at the other core. It has to be holistic. It has to be all round. It can't be just like in a one-way space. एक लेक्चर में एक पढ़ा है, सेकंड लेक्चर में सेकंड पढ़ा है, थर्ड लेक्चर में थर्ड पढ़ा है, then उसको हमने टेस्ट दे दिया, then हो गया. No. The aim of the NEP is that we want to introduce holistic learning. A lot of times you will end up probably listening that why am I saying we want? I say we want to because we are all part of this. You are going to be the people who implement it. We are going to be the people who are implementing it with you. We are going to be somewhere directing you, but all of us are in this together. Hence, I sometimes end up saying all of us, we will do this, we will do that. I never say they will do it. It's their aim, but we have to do it together. So second point is holistic learning. Third, which till now also was missing in when it comes to our education, is a strong foundation. You have been students first, and then some of you all know the teachers who are here, you will become teachers, and the students who want to be teachers will are taking the training. A lot of times we would not understand why certain classes are easy. First, second, third कभी-कभी easy लगता था, fourth तक easy लगता था. Suddenly fifth, sixth में मतलब एक टेम्पो बढ़ जाता था, तो स्टूडेंट वाज ऑलवेज एट अ लॉस कि अरे इतना सीरियस कैसे हो गए. देन 6, 7, 8 तक ठीक है, देन अगेन 9 एक अलग लेवल पे चला जाता था. 11th एक अलग लेवल पे चला. These jumps which we used to take in standards in terms of the seriousness, in terms of the work, इस चीज को ये होता था because हमारे foundation would be very shaky. So NEP says let's make the foundation very strong, so that when there is a jump to a serious class, the foundation helps you stay strong. CBSE में at least I'm telling you from the time I was a student, I'm a CBSE student. 5th, 6th, 7th में संस्कृत पढ़ाया जाता था ग्रामर के हिसाब से, and 8th से प्रोज पढ़ाया जाता था. तो I joined a CBSE school in 7th, तो I missed out on the grammar. मैं सीधा 7th के बाद सीधा प्रोज में चला गया, and मेरे तो सामने lessons थे ना, मेरे को संस्कृत में पढ़े. I used to by heart it, so I missed out that time. But अभी क्या कर रहे हैं कि नहीं, they should not push. We should give a little bit of everything so that student can keep on developing himself. तो वो strong foundation को उन्होंने और spread किया. ये 5+3 वाला जो concept है उसमें strong foundation आएगा. I'll come to that, but strong foundation is a major aim. And then the last aim is investment in quality. They want to invest into the quality which goes. And quality means you. Quality means the people around. Quality means also the software, the hardware. They want every stakeholder to make an investment into quality. But they've understood that without quality, इतना बड़ा aim हम आगे नहीं लेके जा सकते. So that's the reason they say that the aim is also we want to invest into quality, and then the other part of it is by investing good, I'm investing in the quality students coming out also. Just both sides. I'm investing into good teachers, a good system, and hence I will get an investment towards good students. The key emphasis of this space, because अभी aim समझ में आ गया है, तो emphasis हम किस पे डालने वाले हैं? हम emphasis डालने वाले curricular changes में. One, the biggest thing which all of us have been asking, Shubha ma'am as a senior academician in this line, there are other senior teachers here. I have had a little bit of experience. Aditi ji has a little bit of experience in academic. All of us have been saying one term or the other. Curriculum change is required. Curriculum change is required. We are not at par with what's happening in the society, in the industry, in real time. वो curriculum का एक होता है gap है. So they said the key emphasis of NEP this time will be curricular changes. But that also connects to strong foundation. अगर curriculum strong है, changed है, unique है, but still it is contemporary, it's based on today, and it has an eye towards the future, so the foundation will be strong. So hence curricular changes for strong foundation is a must. Then they want, the key emphasis is improved quality of learning across. Learning quality has to become better across, from the time a kid enters school till the time the kid exits the academic system. Quality has to be of learning, and it has to have improved quality. It has to go upwards from day one. It can't have that suddenly the best class in my life was 7th standard because मैंने उसको top किया था, but उसके बाद everything went bad. Why can't that same child continue topping in 8th, 9th, 10th? कहीं उसका इंटरेस्ट चला गया, कहीं उसको लगा कि मेरी एबिलिटी के बियॉन्ड है. So many things. But hence, if हम क्वालिटी लर्निंग पे हम इन्वेस्ट करेंगे, हम उसको इम्प्रूव करेंगे, तो ऐसे बोलते नहीं, these gaps will not come. A student will enjoy education from first to last. So there is an improved quality of learning across, key emphasis given. Then curricular changes is something which you and I have been asking for. And the second thing, assessment method. NEP wants to shift the assessment method. It's a very important part because this will create a major shift in the way students comprehend their results, in a major shift in which parents comprehend the student's result. So that assessment has to change, and hence a key emphasis is put on shifting the assessment method. How is the shifting going to happen? What are we going towards? We will speak about it through the presentation. And hence, keeping all this in mind, the fourth emphasis is systematic transformation. The transformation has to be systematic. It can't be again 20% किया then हम भूल गए then 40% 10 साल बाद कर रहे. It has to be systematic. Develop A, then develop B, then develop C, then develop D, and correlate. It's very important because so many policies have come through the years, even though there have been major gaps between it. It's never been systematic in nature. Sometimes CBSE gets a bigger overhaul, sometimes state boards in their own self will give a bigger overhaul, sometimes NCERT will come and say, ye hame karna hai this class but not in this class. It doesn't work. The transformation has to be systematic, and in that way, they have said that we need to go from A to Z at one time. तो इस टाइम अगर हाईवे बनना है तो पूरा हाईवे बनेगा. ऐसा नहीं कि 5 साल की सरकार में आधा हाईवे बनेगा, जब वो सरकार गिर जाएगी, दूसरी सरकार आएगी तो हाईवे ऐसी आधी रहेगी. जब वो पहली सरकार वापस 15 साल बाद आएगी, देन वो हाईवे कंप्लीट करेंगे. नो, it has to be systematic. And please do understand, when I'm explaining the NEP to you, I'm not putting a political bias to it. We as teachers have to accept the fact that any government which comes, may it be the Congress-led government, maybe the BJP-led government, maybe a third front, we need to fight for quality education from everyone. We can't be biased कि मोदी जी आए हैं तो it will get changed, या अगर गांधी आएंगे it will not get changed, या अगर शरद पवार जी आएंगे तो it will get changed again. We are teachers. We have to work for change from every space. So hence, if tomorrow NEP goes from one phase to the other, and hypothetically there is a change in government, you and I need to still demand the same quality. And you and I still need to take that same quality to the students. Education cannot be politically biased. Let the student make their choice later. That's okay. But you and I are educators. एक बहुत पुरानी एक एग्जाम्पल बोलते हैं ना, kids are like clay. आप जैसे उसको मोल्ड एंड शेप करोगे वही शेप उन लोग लेंगे. So if you and I have so much of effort to be given to these kids and so much of responsibility, let's not color it with political bias. You and I can hold a political bias outside the classroom, not when it's in class. In class, we have to, because then the student is getting unbiased education also. And that's the reason I keep on saying NEP can't be seen as a BJP-led initiative if tomorrow government falls down, or if tomorrow someone else comes in. We need to ensure that this thrust which is given to NEP, the fire is maintained for the next 15 years, because as I said, it's not overnight. It's not overnight that this is going to happen. It's not overnight that we are going to look into implementing the NEP on ground. It is through the years, and hence we need to work on it through the years. So it was one small point I always had, because I don't want us to fall into arguments that कौन better है कौन worse. बच्चे को हमें बड़ा करना है, उसके लिए हमें एक साथ करना है. So once we have understood the aims, once we have understood the emphasis, so the overall space is obviously broken into 3 main spaces. Okay? It is known as ECCE, Early Childhood Care Education, and School Education as number 1, then Higher Education, and then they're looking at Vocational Education. So before we go into that part of it, a small icebreaker we'll do right now, so that we have, because then इसके बाद एक momentum आ जाएगा, उस momentum को हम break नहीं करेंगे, then उसके बाद वापस एक icebreaker पढ़ेंगे. An assignment which I would like to give you, and this will be an evaluated assignment. So when you send it back to the trainers at your place and then they send it to me, I will evaluate this. What I want you all to do is, I want you all to write a 500-word opinionated review of the NEP 2020. 500 word का एक review लिखना. What are your thoughts about the new education policy? We need to understand we need to understand where are you comfortable, where are you not comfortable, what are you looking forward to, what are you saying nahi, what am I looking ahead, what am I looking back. All of this needs to be looked at. So that is a review which we are putting. That review will ensure that I can understand that you got something out of this workshop. Because when you're reviewing a policy, that means you have read the whole policy. You have somewhere understood the whole policy. मैंने इतना बड़ा मतलब आपकी प्रोफेसर्स के थ्रू आपके ट्रेनिंग सेंटर के थ्रू हमने इतना बड़ा वर्कशॉप किया तो सर कुछ तो रिटर्न मिलेगा. And that's the reason I said opinion. I didn't, and then review. I didn't say tell me the 5 good things, 5 bad things. वो तो समझ में आता. I want to know what is in your mind. And when you're writing opinions, obviously you can, when you're reviewing it, you can obviously say what can have been better also. So this will be, and the mode of communication of writing this will be English or Hindi. Ma'am, can I give them the Hindi option or should I make it English only?
No, you can give both.
Yeah.
Let it be bilingual, yeah.
Fair. So then ये दोनों रहेंगे. It's an either or situation. So either you can give it, you can write it to me in English or in Hindi. The only encouragement I would do is that if it can be in a typed Word document PDF format, which is computer or typed, is better than handwritten. That's the only thing. If there is a limitation that you can't type Hindi on the keyboard or on the phone, and hence you will write Hindi and then scan the thing and give it to me, I'm okay with that. But I'm encouraging a soft copy presentation, like a soft copy thing, where it's typed and given to me. Because sometimes our Achilles heel, you being future teachers and teachers being here, review. 500 words में let us review it properly. Critically exam में बहुत लंबा हो जाए. So we will review that as per the doubt which came. And I was saying that Achilles heel for you as future teachers and the teachers who are here already. Handwriting समझना सबका एक स्किल है. हम अपने स्टूडेंट्स को कितने बार बोला है कैसा हैंडराइटिंग है, क्या डाला है. फिर आपके हैंडराइटिंग को
And that will be added in their internal assessment records.
Okay, so now ma'am has made this. Ma'am has made this an internal assessment space. मतलब अभी तो मार्क्स लगेंगे इसमें. तो अभी मार्क्स लगने वाले, मतलब अभी इसको अच्छी तरह से रिव्यू करना ही पड़ेगा. डिग्री पे जोखम ना आए कुछ. So now, ma'am has said it सामने से. So I will adhere to that. So I will now mark you out of this also. Hence, now more encouragement to type it and put it in a proper way. But if I'm not able to understand someone's handwriting, हम भी वही हो रहे हैं यार. But I don't want to come back as a kid and say ये कौन सी handwriting है? You have to improve your writing. So let's not do that. So it's an encouragement to type and write. Otherwise, if I'm sure all of you have legible handwriting, we'll take it in the scan copies. ठीक है, तो ये एक रहेगा assignment based. This is what I thought, because and I've laid it down right now because now when I'm starting the whole policy, so you know कि सुनना भी है, कल का circular रखना भी है, plus आगे का देखना. ठीक है, so let's do that. Now let's deep dive into ECCE and the school education. So what are the major highlights? The first highlight which we look at is that the ECC has to be integrated with school education. Early childhood curriculum education has to be now part of school education. Preschool and school won't be two different entities. It is all getting together. Hence the structure of the curriculum and the pedagogy has to be changed to 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. What does the 5 mean? 5 means it's foundation. The first 5 years will be known as foundational years. Then 3 will be preparatory. The next 3 years will be preparatory. Then the next 3 will be the middle school. and then 4 will be secondary. So what are we looking at in terms of, in terms of the 5-3-3? What do we mean by the first 5? The first 5 is preschool, class 1 and class 2. So we're looking at ages 3 to ages 8. That's when the first thing comes. कि ये 5 years foundation जो हमने बोला था, these have to be very important. Foundation stage. तो 3 साल की उम्र से 8 साल की उम्र का जो आपका एजुकेशन सिस्टम रहेगा, उसको हमने फर्स्ट 5 years रखा है, जहाँ पे प्री स्कूल 1 and 2. This will focus on play-based activities as well as development of language skills. It's very important. Language skill development is very important because that is the prime time of a young child, coming from baby into young child. He or she will pick up language skills more faster, if you already know. So hence the focus will be on that. And this is a very big shift. Otherwise, right now the focus normally is on, जब तक स्टूडेंट इज ऑन जूनियर केजी सीनियर केजी, हम सीधा 1 2 3 4 5 6 ONE1 TWO2 देन ABCDE, ये सब चीज पे हम CAT CAT BAT BAT पे ज्यादा एम्फेसिस निकालते हैं. So the kid is running a lot. So right now they're saying that let us now at first look at development. Then it comes to the next 3 years. The next 3 years is known as preparatory stage. The next 3 years is for ages from 8 to 11, that is classes 3 to 5. This is where we look at development of language and development of numeracy skills. Yahan pe the emphasis will be, the method of teaching and learning would be play-based activity, classroom interactions, and element of discovery. When the kid is now discovering things. So 3rd to 5th ka section becomes this. Then the next 3 years is, as I said, middle years. Age group 11 to 14 and classes 6 to 8. Yahan pe critical learning objectives will be more, which is a big shift from the rote learning methods used in our education system. Critical learning objective, where we'll be looking at experiential learning in sciences, mathematics, arts, social sciences and humanities. Suddenly आपका जो middle stage है, it's looking so different. Because यही 6th to 8th classroom में the entry into rote learning is big ना. हम उसको अभी कम करना चाहते हैं. हम critically analyze, critically learning करना चाहते हैं. हम experiential learning को लाना चाहते हैं. Experiential learning मतलब where they will do more experiments, more interactions, more activities. They will discover why a chemical interaction is happening this way, why a mathematical interaction is happening this way. Lab-based work ज़्यादा रहेगा, and this encouragement is there. This has a slight pull from the Western way of teaching also. The middle school in the West is almost on the same lines, where there is a lot of encouragement given to activity-based learning, lab-based learning. Understanding nature, understanding everything, and rather than just looking at books, textbooks. Then the last 4 years will be looked at as secondary stage, ages 14 to 18 and classes 9 to 12. इसको भी उन्होंने क्या बोला, 4 years है, but इसको हम 2 stage करेंगे, 9th and 10th and 11th and 12th. Because they have already said, ना हमने बोला था, we saw that they are going to look at assessment, shift and board exam को पूरा tone down करना चाहते हैं. So वो toning down किस हिसाब से होगा, यहाँ से होगा. When you 9th 10th को एक साथ करें, 11th 12th को एक साथ करें. CBSE में अगर आप देखेंगे, 9th is connected to 11th in terms of its, बोलते ना, its dedication and its hardness, मतलब its difficulty level जैसे बोलते हैं. 9th and 11th का difficulty level is higher in CBSE compared to 10th and 12th. And I'm telling you from absolute experience, I struggled to pass 11th. It was so, I did 11th CBSE. It was so difficult for me. And then I was told it's connected more to the 9th, concepts on 9th. And I said, yeah, 10th के बाद 11th आता, 9th के बाद तो नहीं आता. But that is, so now they have understood that. Because for me, 12th became easier. 12th is very simple compared to 11th. 11th was a struggle. So then they have done, we do this together. The main change in this class is the shift to multidisciplinary system where students will have the access to variety of combination. Liberal arts के बारे में मैंने बोला था, तो वो thinking इन लोग इधर लेके आ रहे हैं कि we will now look at a skill set based combination in 9, 10 and 11. It's not necessary that the interest area will always be just science and commerce. Now it's science, art and commerce, and skill sets will be across all, and इसके combinations के basis पे 9, 10 and 11, 12 को हम deal करेंगे. Again, critical thinking and flexibility of thought process will be the most in this. तो ये जो last 4 years है, यहाँ पे हम एक अलग shift ले रहे हैं. So now if you see the whole plan of getting this from preschool till 12th, there is proper foundation, then there is experimentation, then there is critical thinking and defining, and then there is skill-based learning. So there is a lot of connect, which somewhere was missing in our old system. And let's also again understand, it's not that people didn't try to change the old system. The old system became something as part of our day-to-day life. And what everyone started doing is just kept on, well then एक nut, एक bolt, इसको हम change करेंगे, इसको हम change करेंगे. No one saw the system as a whole. Attempts बहुत हुए, but कहीं ना कहीं जाके उसको pull down किया गया. But now when we are at the crossroad of our economic turn, please understand, the eco experts will agree with me, if there is a fall in the economy, tomorrow we'll recover and we have to go ahead also. So now when we are at a recovery state, we need to recover from all the GDP minuses, from all of that. The only way of turning ahead and going also is ensuring that our future generations are learned enough to carry that. नहीं तो this whole thing ना brain drain होता है. 10th के बाद बच्चा चला जाता है US पढ़ने के लिए, 12th के बाद बच्चा US चला जाता है, graduation के बाद चला जाता है. We need to invest into reversal, and the reversal will only invest when the kid after 10th is confident to continue his education. तो उसको पता है system change हुआ है, system can do something better for me. Because then he knows if I follow the system and get a job in India, I will still get the same money which I may get outside. End of the day, why does a student leave its country and go outside to study? Because he wants to get a better job, better payment, and better way of living. If you feel that job quality, salary-wise, is not available in India, it's available in India. But he feels he's too away from it. The Western education system will make him closer to it and he can get that job more easily. So hence we have to invest into this. So again I'm saying, let's not make it कि आज हम change क्यों कर रहे हैं कि हम late change कर रहे हैं. दे रहा है दुरुस्त है, and जो भी लाए करना है, it is a need of the hour. We have been hitting our heads against the wall for such a thing for a long time. And again I'm warning you, it's not happening overnight. You heard the changes, 5, 3, 3, 4, all these changes grassroots level पे लाने के लिए is going to be a task. And that task में आपका सबसे बड़ा योगदान and role रहेगा. And वो role will just be not with an overnight defined and overnight executed. It can't be. So this was the 5, 3, 3, 4 space. I will answer the chat-based questions a little later because it helps me continue the flow. So what are we looking at the key impact areas when it comes to early education and school education together? The major impact they're looking at is that every child should have access to formal schooling system. In India, there is a stat that nearly 30% of our students drop out after 10th grade. 30%. Simple words, simple numbers बना लो कि 100 लोग जा रहे हैं 10th पास कर रहे हैं, 30 लोग 10th के बाद education system से drop out हो रहे हैं. That's a major drop in future manpower, skill-based manpower, and that skill can be anything, white or blue. Major. So we need to invest in. Hence, NAP is saying we need to get formal education system access to everyone. Every child needs to be in the school by 2030. That's NEP's aim. 10 years down the line, 2030 tak, every child in this whole country should have access to schools. Children from age of 3 to age of 18 should have access to school, either to public or through private, but they should have access. They are aiming that almost 3 crore students will be brought back into the system by providing them systematic entry and exit in the school space. 3 crore बच्चे को they want to bring back into the fold. That's the aim. That means 2030 तक 3 crore in the fold. That means वही 3 crore 10 साल बाद 2040 तक will be skilled, will be energetic, will be trained. So that's a major space, because as I said, 30% dropout ratio हमारा. They want fewer children from socio-economic disadvantaged groups to drop out. So hence they will make more options for them. They will make more schemes for them to keep them in school and to bring them back to school, both ways. जो current socio development है, economically challenged developed space है, उनको रखने के लिए, उन बच्चों को रखने के लिए, plus वही background के लोग drop out है, उनको वापस लाने के लिए. Because that makes a major percentage of our population of school going children. It makes a major percentage. So we need to bring them back into the fold. Then I told you about the holistic competency driven learning. Holistic learning pe they want to invest. Why? Because they want to change the way students learn. The policy wants to focus on ensuring students learn to learn, not learn to pass. That's again a major shift. Right now, students are learning to pass. I told you yesterday that I know students who try to by heart maths ke equations. That's not how it is. So NEP says that we want to encourage the system of learning to learn, but it's a learning based system which currently in place to more activity based system. 533 everything is activity based, experiential learning based, critical thinking based. ये सब चीज में they want to shift, and this will allow the education system to shift from mass education to a little bit of personalized and student centric model. Right now it's very massive. Passing ratio क्या है स्कूल का 100%, टॉपिंग रेशियो क्या है 1%, 70% कितना है 80%. Student centric, student at the center, and hence they want to make education more personalized, hence this whole holistic space. And then obviously NEP has recommended a change in curriculum and pedagogy to ensure that students are developing something known as higher order cognitive skills. 21st century skills. What are 21st century skills? Digital skills, digitally critical skills, digitally aligned skills. Even the mathematical and computational thinking both have changed. This is all they want to invest into at the school level itself. I hope we know that most of the times industry-based, your skill-based, your job-based investment of skills, curriculum in the education system today is looked at towards colleges and graduation and after that. How wrong is that? So that's why they're saying, no, we need to look at these skills from day one. We're not looking at this later, because they want to ensure that it will result in the future, the workforce in the future being ready. And hence they can meet these changing times, these challenging times. They can meet the expectations of those times. And that's the reason they have to develop skills for future jobs. Assessment के बारे में at the school level, they are again saying assessment has to be a means but not the end. Assessments inform teaching learning in school. One of the most critical aspects of NEP is to move away from annual examinations. Teachers, please note, they want to move away from annual examinations to a system of formatic assessments to support the teaching learning process. first unit test, first semester, second unit test, second semester, nahi. Ongoing process. So that assessments are also formative. It's connected. First month में एक assessment हुआ है तो second month में जो second assessment हो रहा है, it has taking some chapter from first, then third assessment something from second. There's a continuation. So many times you and I come back to our examples because we have been students first. Fifth standard में जो पढ़ा, sixth standard में भूल गए, sixth standard में जो पढ़ा, seventh standard में भूल गए, and आगे चलते थे because हमें से पास करना है. 80 मिल गया 100 से good. NEP is challenging this thinking. This, as I said, is the groundbreaker of the whole policy. When someone came out and said, boss, assessment has to change, and थोड़ा teary eyed हो जाता हूँ जब मैं इसको मैंने regularly पढ़ा है because we fought on this in that think tank group कि it starts from assessment, curriculum and assessment. ये दोनों चीज जब तक नहीं हम change करेंगे बाकी कुछ चीज नहीं कर सकते. And they hit the nail on the head. They're saying students need to demonstrate competency in multiple ways. It can't be just they're demonstrating the competency of good through marks. Hence multiple assignments. Hence they have, and you have read about this, they want to downgrade the 10th board. They want to make it low stake. They don't want to make it end of the world. जो आज है 10th standard board exam मतलब it's end of the world. They don't want to do that. They want to downgrade it. They want to ensure that it is not बोलते ना गले में नहीं जा रहा. It's not a फांसी का फंदा on a kid. And they want to focus on demonstrating learning, which will reduce the fear of exam. They want the kid to demonstrate what they have learned. In school also, if you remember, we used to be excited when, not during examinations, but during exhibitions. Science exhibition हुआ, art exhibition हुआ, annual day हुआ. Science exhibition में भी तो हम अपने skills demonstrate कर रहे थे. Even if when you and I made our first volcanoes, all of us will remember वो volcano हम बनाते थे, baking soda डाल के. It was a demonstration of an act of science which we understood. But none of us were marked on that. We would get a certificate for it, but no marks. They're saying that is what will bring the real talent out. And hence this, it will allow the students to demonstrate what they have learned to the best of their abilities. Hence the assessment as a means, not the end. NEP, now for you all. There is a sad stat which I want to share. That 13% of secondary school teachers in India, 13% of secondary school teachers in India are not professionally qualified. So when the teacher is not professionally qualified, how can he or she implement the education system properly in class? Hence, the NEP has said that we need to invest into professionally qualified and skilled teaching force. So your days, your time in your training center is now more valuable because they want people like you only. All teachers need to be trained and professionally developed in 10 years. They want every teacher to have a qualification development. ऐसा नहीं कि without B.Ed and ASAP they are teaching. No. There has to be a qualified way and you have to have that. If implemented, all teachers from Anganwadi levels to the secondary school level will have necessary professional qualifications, which is brilliant. You know, you have friends or you have seen spaces where Anganwadi preschool teachers are not qualified. But because there is a demand, people are taking up that job. We need to have quality. You won't let a non-computer engineer enter a computer engineering based job, right? Just because he knows how to run a computer. No. So how can you do that with teaching? Hence your qualification becomes so important. Hence you are now so important because you have taken the onus to be qualified and then enter the field. Your value is increasing. And hence they said that we also need to motivate and incentivize teaching. They want to set NEP, we as a system, we want to set up a system where teachers can achieve a tenure and be promoted through the system. And hence it will incentivize and motivate the staff. Additionally, NEP is saying that we should allow teachers full autonomy over teaching methodology. That means if you want to teach student maths, but when you after maths, when he just has to solve sums, at the side you can also say Vedic maths will help you solve this multiplication and everything in this way. That autonomy they want to give the autonomy to you. They want to give you the autonomy or the ability to collaborate with others through school complexes. They want to remove teacher isolation. That means today you are teaching in 4th standard in A school under A board, but you want to collaborate about a session or about a topic with a 4th standard teacher of another board, and both of you are friends. One is IBS, IG, one is CBSE, but you want to teach together. You can, because the end result, जो हमने ऊपर बोला, end result is not marks now. It's learning. And hence we increase your effectiveness. Hence we increase the teacher effectiveness. Now this is such a brilliant thing. Think if you can do this in class, and you can just not collaborate. Understand this. You just don't have to collaborate with another teacher, another school complex. You can collaborate with people outside. And you can collaborate with an IIT professor to make them understand physics in a better and simpler way. Without thinking, what will my seniors say? You just need to take the permission for the timing and the space. That's it. So freedom to be given to teachers is going to be high. And this is something which tomorrow I will teach you how to do it. ये skill set अपने में आप develop कैसे करोगे ये कल मैं बोलूँगा. NEP ने बोल रहे हैं आप में चाहिए या हम आपको ये freedom देंगे, but कल हम आपसे बात करेंगे इस freedom को आप use कैसे कर सकते और अपने को आप ready कैसे कर सकते. In India, and because we are a vast nation in terms of population, forget the size of them, but in terms of population, a sad stat comes out, and this is through NCRT and everything. This India is hosting, even today, 2021, India is hosting 1 lakh, little over 1 lakh, single teacher schools. Over 1 lakh single teacher schools. At an average, those schools may have anything between 30 to 100 students. Think of the number of students who have been handled by single teacher from first student. That's the reason they want to invest into qualified professionals like you. We want to increase and make the student-teacher ratio in classroom much better. Much better. But that was a focus on the schooling space. That what is the NAP looking at from the schooling space? Then उसके repercussions school पे, teachers पे, management पे क्या क्या आएंगे वो भी थोड़ा रहता है. The biggest repercussion for you all as teachers, positive repercussion. They want to reduce the time spent by you as teachers, future teachers, on non-academic tasks and increase the time spent on academic and teaching responsibilities. They want to get this done. NEPs even looked at that. कि एक स्कूल में एक टीचर का मल्टीपल रोल है, मतलब मल्टीपल रोल में कभी-कभी 30-40% is non-academic and only 60-70% is academic, which is wrong. It has to be 80-20, 90-10, something on those lines. So they've said we need to reduce this. So hence what they're saying, if we introduce professional standards of teachers, which clearly outlines the responsibilities, this effective learning and teaching method will be easier. And hence it will motivate you also. So many teachers, when they enter their second or third jobs, not the first jobs, the second or third job, they get bored of extra responsibilities. First job में you will, because you are a new teacher, you will be asked to, अच्छा सर आप पढ़ा तो रहे हो, बट आप स्पोर्ट्स डे में भी हाथ दे देना, आप एनुअल डे में ये शो कर लेना, आप चिल्ड्रंस डे पे फर्स्ट टू सेकंड हैंडल, इट्स देयर राइट. देन आप ये ग्रुप संभाल लेना, ये आर्ट ग्रुप है, आर्ट कमिटी है, एक्टिंग कमिटी है, ये है, इनसे अभी आप. सो my time is just not getting over in classroom. I take work home also, but which is non academic. मैं सिर्फ पेपर चेकिंग या कल के लेक्चर के लिए रेडी नहीं हो रही हूँ, मैं इवन प्लेस देख रही हूँ, मैं. एंड what NAP is saying that it's not that we don't want you all to do this, but we don't want you all to overdo it. And hence ये सब structural changes को कम बेटर करने के लिए प्रोफेशनलिज्म ज्यादा लाना चाहिए. The introduction of the NAP will provide teachers with a clear process through which they can take place within the state, and hence it will incentivize the teachers to perform better. Because हम vertical mobility ला रहे हैं ना. Vertical mobility in teaching is important. Vertical mobility in teaching हम क्यों ला रहे? It is on teacher performance, right? They want to bring it, not on seniority. They are investing. NAP, we are wanting to invest into this also. We want to invest into the fact that it's just not seniority, it's everything else also. So if you are performing very well as a teacher at a certain space, you're getting amazing reviews, you're getting amazing incentives from students, you're getting very good encouraging words from everyone. Your vertical mobility cannot be stopped hence. That's because you're juniors or you're too young, you're too new. Right now it's on seniority, they want to let go of that, which is again far sight. Foresight. Foresight उनका बहुत अच्छा है. And I have been a victim of this foresight in a negative way. When ma'am introduced me yesterday and she said that I am the youngest educational head when I was at 25, I became the principal of a leading media school. The designation was director because it's an independent media school. I became the director at the age of 25. And then I became the dean at the age of 30 of an MBA school, a proper business school. I became a dean at 30. Both are records of age in Asia, actually, just not in India. And I'll tell you this, why this today I'm so happy to look at this. It's just the seniority which will help you grow. Because at 26, I was invited by IIM Kozhikode to take a lecture. IIM Kozhikode was upcoming that time. It's today also in the top 5 to 8 IIMs in the country. And it was an upcoming IIM. I'm talking to you about 2011-12 ki baat kar raha hu. The students had heard about my way of teaching marketing and media in Bombay, and hence they were very excited to invite me. The dean wasn't. The dean didn't agree to the fact that 26 साल का लड़का हेड कैसे हो सकता. हमारे पास तो 26 साल के स्टूडेंट्स हैं. IIM में तो you can do IIM later also. तो 26 साल के तो बच्चे हमसे MBA ले रहे, तो तुम हेड कैसे बन सकते? But there's a lot of autonomy given to students to invite their sort of faculty for extra work. So the students got together. They invited me. They paid for my आना जाना रहना. चलो, they afforded the campus lodge. The dean and the professors never came to my lectures. 3 दिन का था मेरा. I had a marathon Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 10 to 8, 10 to 8, 10 to 8. It was a big workshop. I had an attendance of 250 plus students, physical. Not a single, because they use the word boycott. कि ये young कैसे हो सकता है? Same happened when I was 30 when I became a dean, and this time I am Ahmedabad के बच्चे wanted me to, because reviews तो जा रहे थे. But till the time it's read Ahmedabad, they reach out, I am Ahmedabad wanted, and I am Ahmedabad is the best I am in the country. Their students sell, their marketing sell, their Marcom cell got together to me. Jayanta sir ko, we want to get him on campus, and we want a session. Over 600 students sat, but the academic system didn't sit. A lot of times, a lot of principals are looked down. कि how come आपकी उम्र में थोड़ी ना बनना चाहिए. So today, when I see this, it also shows that all of us are ready. It's all age is never age is just a number. Age is nothing else. It's just a number. I feel that if you are good enough, you have learnt enough, and you can express enough, you can grow up. So though those 2 points stand out in my CV, I have had my own share of discrimination at these places because people didn't accept me as a head. Students loved it, but a lot of others didn't. So hence ये देख के थोड़ा सा emotional हो जाता है कि good, finally this is happening. That means I can expect someone to become a principal again at 24, 25. Why not? Age is a number. So going to from school education, now going to higher education. In higher education, the first key impact space they're looking at is the quality of universities and colleges through large-scale consolidation. They want to consolidate this space. They want to go into something known as institutional restructuring and consolidation. Because this will have an impact on the number of higher education institutes we have in our country. Because right now, there are too many higher education institutes, and like you have heard that's har nukkad mein ek college. It doesn't work in that, because what it is impacting, it's impacting on quality education being meted out. Because if you have so many colleges everywhere, will you have so many qualified teachers everywhere, professors everywhere? Will you have the same sort of education being meted out? You know, you yourself know that if you line up 7 colleges in Jharkhand, each college will have a different education level than the other. Can they say it's standardized? Can I say that I would like to go, I'm okay with getting admission in any of these colleges? Why do I want to get an admission into A college over B college? हम आपको और मेरा भी तो favorite colleges थे ना एक time पे. So they want to get rid of that. NEP says that we want to get rid of this. Right now, the college enrollment ratio in India is 693 students per college. They want to make this 3,000 per college. They want to increase, because 700-800 students एक higher education institute में उसका कोई फायदा नहीं. So they want to increase it to 3,000. Despite of the long-held view on autonomy, जो अभी आप लास्ट 5 साल से हमने देखा है कि ऑटोनॉमस एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूट्स को बहुत बढ़ावा दिया जा रहा है. आउट ऑफ द 40,000, वी हैव नियरली 40,000 कॉलेजेस इन इंडिया. कॉलेजेस में बात कर रहा हूं. Only 750 colleges are autonomous. A huge number left. Hence, a restructuring and consolidation का बात है. They want to decrease the number of higher education institutes to around 15 to 20,000, which right now is over 50,000. 15 से 20,000 higher education institutes वो करना चाहते हैं eventually. And 96% of these over 50,000 higher education institutes have enrollments which are less than 3,000 students per schools. As I said, the average was 693. And after consolidation and restructuring, they want to invest into multidisciplinary education at the higher education space. Right now, how do we define higher education in India? IIT, IIMs and AIMS. अगर आप ऐसे देखोगे, साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी एक तरफ, मैनेजमेंट एक तरफ एंड मेडिकल एक तरफ, अगर आप इसको एक एक होलिस्टिक व्यू से देखोगे, this they want to decrease. They want to say this is not right. What we want to do is they want to move from this and go into creation of multidisciplinary universities, large ones, like how it's there in the US and the UK. कि एक यूनिवर्सिटी में there is a brilliant science college also, there's a brilliant management also, there's a brilliant medical also, and there is interaction between everyone, which they want to name. So they've used this name, these large multidisciplinary universities. They want to create something known as multidisciplinary education and research universities. MERUs they call it. Not to be confused with Meru Cab at all. But they want to create this. And they want to increase the focus on the large number of specialized colleges to adopt multidisciplinary education. And they want to concentrate the development of MERUs more in aspirational districts, not your Bombay, Pune, Bangalore and Delhi's, in aspirational spaces, because that's where they feel, so that a child doesn't have to travel for education. It's not necessary that you want to become a doctor, hence हमें south जाना पड़ेगा या west जाना पड़ेगा या north जाना पड़ेगा. अगर आपको अच्छा इंजीनियर बनना है तो आपको साउथ जाना पड़ेगा या वेस्ट जाना पड़ेगा. आपको अच्छा लॉयर बनना है तो आपको नॉर्थ जाना पड़ेगा. It's not. That's why they want to concentrate on this. So they want to bring this. That's why they say the quality universities or colleges through large consolidation. Then they want to say that NEP said we want to have a higher education system that is accessible and inclusive. एक्सेसिबल का मैंने अभी आपसे बात की, एक तो डिस्टेंस के बारे में बात की, और एक मैं आपको बोल रहा हूं द एनहांस्ड इक्विटी एंड इंक्लूजन. Currently our inclusion policy is very bad. Inclusion when I say is of the caste, reservation, ये सब के inclusiveness in education societies is very more than imbalanced. So hence it was said, NEP says that हम क्या करना चाहते हैं, हम special education zones establish करना चाहते हैं, and hence a greater role of private HEI in ensuring equity. मतलब a greater role of private HEI, higher education institutes, so that ये equity थोड़ा maintain है. जैसे SEZs बनाए थे to encourage more people to make manufacturing easier, is that now they want to make SEZs in special education zones. They also want to improve the access and equity through open distance learning and online program. Obviously, because we need better online programming, we need distance learning to be much better. Yeah, open universities, unfortunately, a lot of times, some popular ones end up doing not good things. So that's wrong. So hence, distance learning पे अभी ज़्यादा emphasis आने वाला है. And if by increasing distance learning overall, we are hoping that we'll be giving access to 1.5 crore more learners by just having distance learning and online learning. 1.5 crore learners is a huge number to come at. Again, here they want to incentivize faculty learning at the core of higher education. They want to incentivize it. We want to incentivize, because again, end mein, as I said yesterday, the main role is yours. We want to optimize the load on faculty at the higher education level, but the load is huge. Currently, it's a 1:29 faculty student ratio. They want to bring it down to 1:20. And they also ensure that a minimum of 5 lakh faculty members have to be hired into the system to bring this ratio down. 5 lakh new professors are needed in the system to bring this 129 say 120. So hence, obviously, आपकी employment opportunities increase. So yesterday, one of you asked that question about employment. I hope this is answering this. There is a need for employment. Correct? So that it's needed. And hence उसको हम address करने के लिए we have to get you all into the system. The National Research Foundation (NRF) has proposed, which has been proposed by the NEP, is likely to create a dedicated focus towards quality research. Obviously, by increasing research facilities, by increasing research funding, by making it competitive, by increasing and improving its efficiency of the funding process, and then by having a more targeted approach to funding research initiatives. The biggest loss today in higher education is research. Research is not well funded in India. Hence, the conversions from MPhils to doctorates and masters to doctorates is very problematic. And then those doctorates to continue teaching is another problem because unke research is not getting funded. So hence, a National Research Foundation has been proposed so that we can now concentrate on getting good funding for amazing research topics and initiatives. NEP also said that we want to include and we want to encourage something known as internationalization. Internationalization, it is crucial for any knowledge economy to thrive, which is a two-way exchange of thought across borders. These reforms proposed by NEP would like to introduce the fact that हमने exchange students बहुत किए, student exchange programs, अब हम academic exchange programs को encourage करना चाहते हैं. Colleges do that, universities do that, but at a very minimal level. Hence, internationalization will increase the amount of foreign faculty coming as exchange faculty, even at the college level, government college level, and government faculty going there to teach. It increases both sides, increases the students' inputs and increases the faculty's rawness, roughness, वो edge एकदम अच्छी तरह से polish हो जाता है. You get such a brilliant exposure outside and you come back better. Obviously, इसके लिए there's a lot of legal hassles also because there is a lot of legal binding. Like, can my like Iranian professors are brilliant professors. Iranian minds are brilliant. But because of the current political system and scenario, it's very difficult to get Iranian professors to come to India and Indians to send professors to Iran to teach. So ये जो legal wrangles है with content, तो उसके लिए भी इन लोगों ने बोले एक अलग से पूरा हम system बनाएंगे so that we can go around it. Because this also, जितना ये exchange of professors होगा, utna the universities and the colleges doing will attract good students also. So that itself is being looked into in a big way. Now, what are the opportunities for faculty here? You as future faculty, later on, if you move from school to college, what are you looking at? You're looking at a better service environment in terms of access to information, infrastructure, as well as quality technology in the classroom, because that is what you're increasing. The chances of that is being increased, and hence the investment into that is being increased. We need those connected classrooms, right? Digitally connected classrooms, all that. ये सब चीज पे investment हम डालना चाहते हैं. Career advancement through opportunities of faculty is increasing by introducing this internationalization and all of this. You are encouraging and enhancing the career of faculties. You are also by ensuring that research is being encouraged. तो PhD में जितने लोग अपने को enroll करेंगे वो भी encourage कर रहे हैं. It is also that in the PhD structure, the space for teaching courses. जब आप PhD करते हो, there is a space where it's also taught that how do you teach your topic. They're going to invest into that topic and make it more better. I'll tell you what happens in the West. In the US, if you happen to do a PhD from some good universities, they give you a stipend to teach and stay. So you do your PhD, एक तो तुम आप स्कॉलरशिप से आप PhD कर रहे हो, प्लस आपको एक स्टाइपेंड दिया जा रहा है टू स्टे, कि आप PhD भी करो, आप इधर ही रुको, हम आपको घर के लिए एक स्टाइपेंड दे देंगे, एक सैलरी के लिए स्टाइपेंड दे देंगे, आप हमारे यूनिवर्सिटी के जूनियर कॉलेज के बच्चों को पढ़ाओ and then stay back. That's how the US and the UK managed to keep so many Indian professors who go on to be MIT, the famous MIT, and not the Pune wala MIT, the famous American MIT. So many professors are Indians. They've done the research, they've done everything, they've written books, they are double doctorates, they are writing, they're going to Harvard as guest lecturers. Why? Because of that system. So that's the system they want to do here. They want to invest into teaching PhDs to teach better and hence make them good tutors and then retain them back here. Even here, like school, NEP wants to give more autonomy to faculty to design the courses, more autonomy to have better pedagogical interventions. So pedagogy में भी आपके टिप्पणी will be included because you are contributing, you are teaching that in class, so you can obviously improve that here. तो वो भी होने वाला है. And this will allow the faculty to give more time for student support and research activity, because when I'm involving you in this, you will obviously create more time for a student, because now you know, okay, if I have recommended a change in curriculum, I need to invest my time into the students so I can give them that result also. And the last part of the NEP space is the vocationalization in schools and development of higher education pathways. Because we said that we want to end up having bigger pathways and proper gateways to go out of the school and learn more and go into higher education properly in the country. So here what they want to do, here what we as NEP want us to implement on ground is we want to improve integration of vocational education. NEP states that every child will learn at least one vocational skill in middle and secondary school. Big aim. One vocational skill in middle and secondary school. Hence, vocational education will now be integrated across the value chain. Vocational education अभी बाद में नहीं आने वाला. It's going to be part of the school system itself. Additionally, the number of students in vocational education will also be considered. And the aim is to expose 50% of learners in school and higher education to vocational studies by 2025. 50% next 4 साल में. They want 50% students to be exposed to vocational studies. That's a big number. It's more than about dreamy number, but at least someone put the gauntlet out and we can work towards it. So vocational is huge for us. Then there is a creation of hybrid vocational ecosystem. So we want to bring in, if आपने foreign में भी सुना है ना आपने भी अपने discussion में सुना, credit based framework. Credit based learning आपने सुना है foreign में रहता है 10 credits से 20 credits से 30, and अभी universities are bringing into our space. We want to now have that properly at the school level also. So that once credit based learning हो रहा है, so that mobility for the student from vocational to mainstream and mainstream to vocational is easy. Because they also want to ensure that if a student is investing his time into vocational studies, his main studies is not suffering and nor is his interest suffering. He will say, "Arey, मैं vocational में इतना पढ़ रहा हूँ, I'm losing time to study the other thing." You make both the systems hybrid. वो क्या बोल रहे हैं कि अगर आपका main study is worth 30 credits and you want to pick up a 15 credit vocational topic, so ये 30 में से 15 माफ हो जाएगा, वो 15 plus 15 वापस 30 हो जाता है. So it's encouraging the students कि से मैं माफ करने को ready हूँ, you go and learn vocational income. You add that subject to yours. So it's going to be vertical and horizontal integration of the system. The system and the policy also envisages more collaboration, जो मैंने आपको बोला, between secondary schools, polytechnics, local industries. I told you this, that in classroom, it's not necessary that you will teach your subject only. You can ask someone from IIT, from the industry, to come and help you teach that. And usko you can change it into a credit-based system. So this is again something which was never heard of. And we want to encourage that. We also want to encourage the integration of vocational education, just not at school level, but at higher education also. Degree programs so I get bachelor's in vocation, which will continue. These are already there in the system. With that, higher education institutes can develop and conduct their own vocational courses. That means at college mein, we can introduce our own vocational courses with collaboration with the industry or an NGO. So if you want to say we are a media school, हमें एक vocational course start करना है animation. तो हमें animation में animation house के साथ हमने collaborate कर लिया. They're the industry, we're the teachers, we're doing our own course. Student can take that course and get a replacement of credit in its main passing out. What brilliant foresight, so that we can now integrate industry training in the classroom itself. And obviously this linkage between formal and informal education and formal and vocational courses will now encourage students to stay more. Because college level पे भी सिर्फ आँख बंद करके उनको पढ़ना नहीं है. They're actually developing skills. तो यहाँ पे भी जो टीचर्स का जो चांसेस है, व्हाट इज द इम्पैक्ट ऑन टीचर्स? देयर इज नाउ अ बिगर डिमांड फॉर वोकेशनल टीचिंग आल्सो, या मास्टर ट्रेनर्स, जैसे एनईपी ने हमने नाम दिया मास्टर ट्रेनर्स, बिकॉज टू बी अ पार्ट ऑफ दिस क्रेडिट हाइब्रिड एंड वोकेशनल सिस्टम, NEP is already saying that you have to mandate, we are putting a mandate that इतने number of teachers, adequate number of teachers across schools and across colleges होने चाहिए, so that you can take vocational education as an option. So that means the demand for qualified teachers and master trainers is again increasing, which I told you in the last point. That is also increasing. And this will ensure that we need people with different personalities in the system itself. So teachers, it's just not that if you know one skill set in the B.Ed program, nahi. Probably if you also have yourself training on the tabla, on music, on arts, on dance, computer, anything, you will be considered as a master trainer on campus. And obviously teachers we want to increase the supply of quality trained instructors. So the National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education, जो हम बोलते हैं, जो NCFTE बोलते हैं, will be included in the teacher education curriculum for vocational education. Now that, because आपको जो ट्रेनिंग दिया जा रहा है on ground, उसमें अगर हम ये भी डाल देते हैं NCFTE, तो आपकी ट्रेनिंग अभी डबल हो जाती है, आपके क्वालिफिकेशंस भी आप इंक्रीज, आपकी स्किल सेट भी इंक्रीज हो रहा है. सो देन नाउ व्हेन यू आर बीइंग रिक्रूटेड आउटसाइड, यू हैव अ मोर बेटर चांस ऑफ गेटिंग अ बेटर पैकेट एंड अ बेटर पैकेज. दिस इज एक्सपेक्टेड टू इंक्रीज द क्वालिटी एंड नंबर ऑफ trained trainers. Again, major impact, major impact. These are the major highlights when it comes to the national education policy overall. Now, I have tried to summarize a lot of pointers. We have gone from education school to education in college to vocational. We have done that whole line. But the focus for y'all has been that the investment into qualified teachers is going to be a major focus. And hence now, for you as future teachers, you all need to also invest into your own training. You all need to get additional skill sets put into your CV. I know the training center will take up a lot of opportunities to train you all in individual skill sets, because that will now become a norm outside. A lot of centers are not doing it. Yours is. So you are already 2 steps ahead. So you cannot have a space where you're not training yourself. And I would also encourage, and this is, I have encouraged this to everyone, students, trainers, people alike. EdTech companies are offering short-term courses for you all on different topics. Please avail of some of these things. They are giving on psychology, marketing, communication, branding, sciences. Upgrad is giving a lot of such courses. Byju's has started something on those lines. Vedantu plans to start something on those lines. An academy is already there. Please start picking up certain amount of certificates at the side. It will really help you mold yourself holistically and in an all-round way. It will help you do that. There is no need for you all to be away or running away from these spaces. NEP has included EdTech also in a big way. I've kept EdTech a little away because that will be part of your training tomorrow, so I didn't go into that topic today. But I'm laying down a precursor to tomorrow's discussion by saying that you all need to have some more digital qualifications on your CV. Because NEP will look at you as a master trainer when you have these things. Okay, so this has been a minimum qualification. Neha is going to be B.Ed. There are certain questions which I can see have been written here regularly. So can I request, I know you all are recording this, right?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, तो हेमंत जी आप जब रिकॉर्डिंग जब बंद करते हैं तो ये जब आपके पास आता है तो इसका एक वर्ड फॉर्मेट भी आता है ना
जी
कमेंट्स के, तो आप मेरे को ये क्वेश्चंस ईमेल कर देंगे तो मैं इसको डिटेल आंसर करके आई कैन शेयर इट बैक.
ओके सर.
Will be easier because the subject was so intense. I didn't see the time. It's already 5:40.
Yes.
And I hope you all didn't have to have 4-5 cups of coffee to keep yourself awake. I know today has been a little one-sided, but there are so many points. I'm telling you, इतने साल बने ये पॉलिसी कराने के लिए मैंने 1.5 घंटे में संक्षिप्त में आपको बोला है. I hope I could do justice to this. There are a little other things which obviously I will share tomorrow. But right now, more than entertaining the questions which are coming on the chat, and Hemanji will be kind enough to email it to me later, what I want to do is there something which stood out for you in the policy? Did something stand out? Did you all feel that this one, अरे ये भी हो रहा है, this is brilliant? Something कुछ ऐसा आया? The floor is open. Anyone can answer that.
For me, I think one thing which stood out was the way the assessment is going to change, because as a parent, as a teacher, as a faculty trainer, there's one thing which we keep talking about, changes in education policy. We have been seeing some changes, but somehow I feel वो जो peer pressure होता है, because student कैसा perform कर रहा है, वो both school के तरफ से, faculty के तरफ से, parents के तरफ से, it's always a constant pressure on the student. And the way we have been trained as students, for us boards were like एक भूत होता था, like आप बोर्ड नहीं क्वालिफाई करोगे तो आप जिंदगी में मतलब कुछ नहीं कर पाओगे. That was, I think that's a fundamental thinking which has been brought in because of the society and the way we have grown. Like yesterday we were students, today we are parents, but we also somewhere we feel that we want our kids to be happy, but yet we go back to the same Adam Zamana कि हमारा बच्चा ये ठीक नहीं कर पा रहा है, and there is a lot of peer pressure. So in fact, the question I had also put was that this is something that we are talking about fundamentally changing in the thought process, which we have been carrying for ages. So I'm sure you will be dealing with the topics as to how it is to be implemented and what we need to, because it's a big change. I mean, personally, I feel it's a very big change. I think that's something stood out for me. Like
See,
personally.
that's, as I said, curriculum and assessment were the two things which stand out in the whole NEP space. That someone has taken up the leeway and the opportunity to touch curriculum and to touch assessment at the same time. A lot of times, historically, curriculum has been touched.
Exactly.
Curriculum also has been touched at silos. 8, 9, 10th का चेंज कर दो, या हिंदी का चेंज कर दो, या साइंस का चेंज कर दो, but never as a systematic transformation which I've been using the word. And secondly, curriculum change हो रहा है तो assessment भी तो change होगा.
Exactly. I
You
mean,
can't have lot.
I also feel like there has been an introduction of like say international board in our Indian teaching system. जहाँ पे बहुत focus दिया जाता है on experiential learning, but what I have figured out कि ये सब changes ला तो रहे हैं, but ये basically खिचड़ी बनती जा रही है, because as teachers have not been trained as students when they were students कि ऐसे subject को कैसे deal करें. जो experiential learning, मतलब अभी भी हम लोग के लिए spoon fed notes बनाना, घोट के पी लेना, जाके आंसर लिखना is like something which is still, I mean, I'm not saying, in fact हमारे कॉलेज में भी होता है कि एग्जाम पे बहुत फोकस दिया जाता है. So how to bring that behavioral change, that fundamental change in a parent, in a student, in a teacher, like it's gonna be a big challenge. I mean, it'll take ages to come, I think, in system. But yeah, as you said, nevertheless, later than better to invest in it now than to just think कि आगे चल के जब टाइम आएगा तब करेंगे. I mean, that's my take.
I'll just add to that and sort of, I'm not saying I disagree with the whole point, but एक चीज already हो चुकी है. That mentality to accept
Yeah.
is there now.
Yeah.
The mentality to accept that things have to change is there, and this is also, think this has come because digitally you have become close as people. See, when they were in the 1980s, 1990s and 1980s and 1990s, let's start from that time. When a middle class Indian family would invest into the son or the daughter's education and would want the son or the daughter to become a doctor or a lawyer or engineer, it is because the aspirational figures in front of you were doctors or lawyers and engineers. शर्मा जी का बेटा का जो जोक निकलता है, शर्मा जी का बेटा ने ये किया, शर्मा जी के बेटे ने वो किया, तो शर्मा जी भी लॉयर है. हेंस आप चाहते हो कि नहीं, हमारा लॉयर का बेटा अगर आगे जाएगा तो मेरा भी बेटा आगे जाएगा. Then 2000s में something changed. Internet became a little bigger reality for your computer came in a bigger way. पहले घर पे कंप्यूटर आए, then इंटरनेट आए. Always remember. 90s में मोबाइल फोन, 2000s में computers, and 2010 में internet. If you see, fundamentally, this has been the entry of technology into tier 2. Don't count tier 1 right now.
Yeah.
Count tier 2 and tier 3. 94 में पहला मोबाइल फोन आया था जहां पे 32 रुपीज इनकमिंग था, 64 रुपीज आउटगोइंग था पर कॉल पर मिनट. वो हथौड़ा था फोन, इफ यू रिमेंबर, दैट वाज अ बिग हथौड़ा वाला फोन. मार दो तो आदमी मर जाए, बट फोन ना टूटे. From there, we have come to a system where WhatsApp calling is free. But the journey has been 94 to 2021. कितने साल? Less than 30 years. And that aspiration that your kid has to be the next lawyer, today you aspire that the kid has to be an Instagram influencer. Today you don't aspire that your kid should be the prime minister of the country or a lawyer or something else. He should be an Instagram influencer. He should be a digital hit. And पैसे तो मिल 18 साल के बच्चे, 16 साल के बच्चे are earning money online. So now, because the mental shift towards employment has changed, so this mental shift of what you are saying of acceptance of less of pressure on exams and more pressure on learning will be easier. Because now your class is ready for that. Teach students in the school are ready for that. They are seeing that happen. TikTok has played a major role in making kids understand that I just can't be a studious chapudu boy sitting in class and learning. I need to be there as a 15-seconder doing something and sharing things and taking it. It's forced me to do that, and I'm happy that it happened. See, हम as teachers ना हम digital को बहुत negative देखते हैं. I see it as a big positive because it's opened up the world to you as never before. Obviously, there have been negatives. There will be negatives. Cases of depression have increased. Suicides have increased. Peer pressure has increased. Students are getting pressurized at early ages to earn. Think how pressure has changed. आप जब स्कूल में थे, आप पे प्रेशर था मार्क्स लाने को. आज का बच्चा जो स्कूल में उस पे प्रेशर है, पैसा अभी कमाना चाहो ना, पढ़े बाद में कर. Because they see 9, 10 standard kids earning digitally 20, 20, 30, 30,000. I know of parents who have told their kids, अरे YouTube पे तेरा चैनल क्यों नहीं है? Because it's a fad, right? अरे उसका चैनल है, उसका, तो तेरा क्यों नहीं है? So this change is huge. And at the epicenter of this change is free data. Internet and data has become so, बोलते ना, such a big thing to us. It's opened up doors, windows, जो भी बोलो. This wasn't possible 5 years ago. Forget 10, 20, 30 years. 5 years ago, this wasn't possible. You all had access to mobiles 5 years ago. If you can access your last bill 5 years ago, आप देखो उस टाइम आप डेटा पे अगर आप सर्फिंग करते थे फोन पर, आज आप फोन पे सर्फिंग कर रहे हो, कितना पैसे का डिफरेंस आ गया. हम डेटा पे फोन बेच रहे हैं आजकल. हम टॉक टाइम पे फोन नहीं बेच रहे. आपने फोन खरीदना चालू किया था टॉक टाइम पे, आज आप फोन खरीद रहे हो डेटा पे. That's how it changed, and hence this whole focus. That's why NEP will be more successful today than 10 years ago. 10 साल पहले अगर NEP बोलता ना असेसमेंट चेंज करो, करिकुलम चेंज करो, पेरेंट्स रिवोल्ट करते थे. स्टेक होल्डर कौन है? पेरेंट. फीस कौन भर रहा है? पेरेंट. पगार कहां से आ रही है? पेरेंट के फीस से. आज 10 साल बाद वो पेरेंट नहीं बोले, बिकॉज 10 साल बाद पेरेंट समझ गया दिस इज करेक्ट. एंड जस्ट 10 years, guys, just 10 years. So this is a brilliant time to be alive, as I say. Today, the data and the internet has made such a thing that Namrata ji and Rukshara है कि रुखसार है?
Sir, Ruksar.
हाँ, तो Ruksar and Namrata ji can come together and make a digital school of their own and run and have money also. And no one will stop them. Because they will come and say कि we are introducing hybrid learning. का hybrid learning? I will teach you maths through drawing, and it will sell because it's accepted. And this all came from that one statement which Larry Page made 10 years ago. When he said, I will not hire MBAs in Google. ये इम्पैक्ट उधर से आ रहा है, हमसे नहीं आया. गूगल ने बोला था कि हम MBA को अभी हायरिंग कम करने वाले, हम लिबरल आर्ट्स के बच्चों को हायरिंग ज्यादा करेंगे. 2010 में उसने बोला था. उसका इम्पैक्ट मेरे एजुकेशन सिस्टम बात दिख रहा है. एंड ऑफ द डे Google is the number 1 company in the world you want to work, right? कल अगर आपको ऑफर लेटर आया Google से, मैं तो बोलता कल मेरे को Google का वॉचमैन बनाने दिया, मैं चला जाऊंगा. He's still earning much more than what we are earning today. But Google का थप्पा तो लग गया ना, मोहर जिसे बोलते हैं. So it is that which came in. All of this, बोलते ना, आपने वो रिपल इफेक्ट पढ़ा है ना, एक छोटा रिपल आता है, then it starts spreading in the water. Still water में आप एक पत्थर फेंकते तो छोटा बड़ा 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 करके रिपल इफेक्ट. Education changes are also like that. Education was still for a long time, चुपचाप बैठा था. Then someone tried to shake it and अभी उसका इफेक्ट आज समझ में आया. So hence the next 10 years for you as future teachers is so exciting because you will be the first ones to bring this into the system. Because जो अभी सिस्टम में है उनको तो हमें स्पेशल ट्रेनिंग देना पड़ेगा ना ये लाने के लिए आगे. आप ये सीख क्या? तो कितना डिफरेंस रहेगा? बिकॉज जो अगले 2-3 साल में ऐसा नहीं कि ये पॉलिसी इतनी क्लियर है कि 3 साल में इंप्लीमेंट हो जाएगी या 30 साल के रहेगी. It will fail a lot of times and you will learn from the failures in classroom. आप खुद जब तक पास आउट होंगे ना, आप लोग को उसका फेलियर्स भी समझ में आ जाएगा. अच्छा, दिस वाज़न्ट पॉसिबल, ये ठीक नहीं चला, इसको ऐसे टर्न करना पड़ा. देखो, सबसे बिगेस्ट चैलेंज विल एनईपी विल फेस इज फ्रॉम द प्राइवेट सेक्टर. प्राइवेट सेक्टर इतना इजी अपना ऑटोनॉमी छोड़ेगा नहीं, बिकॉज प्राइवेट सेक्टर के अनफॉर्चुनेटली एंड ऑफ द डे दिस इज बिजनेस. You know, education is the biggest business in this country. ये private universities है, autonomous colleges, they will not like to be integrated easily, no? ये जो consolidation बोला है higher education में हम करेंगे, 50,000 से 15,000 तक लेके आएंगे, will it be easy? So there are going to be roadblocks, but be happy with the vision. Be happy that education का vision change हुआ है इस country में. But also do understand that this vision का change has been years in the making. Because I only see my biggest regret of the NEP 2020 is our education minister or our head education जो है हमारे इस country के, he is thinking that this is his baby. And उनका ये बोलता ना एक राम बाण था, नहीं सर सॉरी, आप इस मुकाम को आगे लेके जा रहे, but this has been 15 years in the making. Lot of professors, lot of principals, lot of stakeholders from everywhere have pushed, and hence आज ये आगे आया है. बोलता ना एक आप, मैंने कल बोला ना मर्सिडीज रेडी है, वो मर्सिडीज को 10-15 साल लगा बनाने को भी. लास्ट ने जिसने विंडो को साफ किया वो उसका क्रेडिट नहीं ले सकता. 15 साल से जिसने बनाया है, everyone deserves equal credit. That's my only sometimes the negative, कि ऐसा लग रहा है कि it's not new, it's been years in the making. But it's become possible today because suddenly we are ready for change. You know why? I'll end my thing with a small anecdote example right now. All of us are knowing the term aliens, right? हमने aliens के बारे में सब सुना है, देखा है, aliens की मूवी देखे हैं, monster ऐसा 4 हाथ 5 हाथ आग बाहर है, and हम बचपन से सुन रहे हैं इसके बारे में. It's not new, right? बचपन से हमने उसके stories देखे, movies देखे, Predator हुआ, Terminator हुआ, Aliens हुआ, Independence Day हुआ, ऐसे ऐसे pictures आते रहते. Why suddenly in the last 5 years NASA has been emphasizing more about life on Mars? मार्स पे लाइफ मिलने के चांसेस लास्ट 5 साल से मल्टीफोल्ड इंक्रीज हो गए कंपेयर टू अर्लियर, बिकॉज नासा नाउ नोज दैट द ह्यूमन सिविलाइजेशन मेंटली कैन एक्सेप्ट एलियंस बीइंग अलाइव और रियल. तो 10 साल पहले भी वुड हैव बीन पैंडेमिक. आज यू आर अ लिटिल मोर मैच्योर. अगर आजकल नासा में, अगर आपने न्यूज पढ़ी, नासा में कल कोई बोलेगा कि मार्स में मेरे को पानी मिला, पानी में मेरे को माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स मिले, दैट मीन लाइफ कैन बी ऑन मार्स, यू एज अ पर्सन यू विल बी कंफर्टेबल टू लिसन टू दैट. लाइक सम पीपल हैव ऑलरेडी सेड ना, मैं तो उधर घर में इन्वेस्ट करना चाहता हूं. इज एक्सेप्टेबल because of everything around you. Your education, technology, edtech, data, digital has make you comfortable with this. Hence the same goes with NEP also. This changes. अभी अगर मैं आपको बोलूं assessment change करना है, curriculum change करना है, liberal होना है, autonomy हम आपको देंगे, you are okay because you have, बोलते ना, your mentality is positive, जो 10 साल पहले नहीं था. So hence the timing mattered. NEP could have come in 2014 also, na, when the BJP government first came. 13-14 में ला सकते थे. We were not ready. It took Byju's, Vedantu, EdTech, digital, COVID, Please understand, COVID has also made you all ready for NEP because you are comfortable with digital education today. You understood कि digital education ही करना है. 10-10 टाइम कैमरा ऑन बोलना है. 20-20 टाइम माइक ऑफ करके बोलना है. डेटा खर्चा करना है. कोविड ने भी हमें कंफर्टेबल बनाया एनईपी के लिए. बिकॉज यू एक्सपीरियंस इट फर्स्ट हैंड. यू एक्सपीरियंस जो वो हो. अगर 2019-20 में जब एनईपी डिक्लेयर किया 2020 में एंड वो आके आपको बोलता था कि आपको डिजिटल एजुकेशन करना है, उस टाइम कोविड नहीं होता था, नॉर्मल होता था. आप तो हम बोल रहे यार कौन ऑनलाइन, कितना ऑनलाइन पढ़ाएंगे, वापस ऑनलाइन पढ़ाएंगे. हमको तो ऑनलाइन पढ़ा ही नहीं, हम तो ऑफलाइन वाले बंदे, हमको ऑनलाइन देखना, बिकॉज तुमने देखा नहीं था ना. कोविड ने आपको दिखा दिया, देन एनईपी बोल रहा आपको ऑनलाइन पढ़ाना है. तो you heard the NEP announcement online. So a lot of factors played into us accepting this as a positive. So I hope this session was beneficial. I hope you have got a lot of info regarding NEP. I hope I managed to cover a lot of bases so that we are ready for tomorrow's show, which is how do I make myself NEP ready and what do I invest into myself. And you have enough material today to write a good review. I will share the PDF tomorrow so that it's easier for you, but still I hope this will be good enough. These pointers, running notes were good for you.
It was wonderful session. So many points have already been covered. In the terms of vocational education integration in the school education, one point that I have to add, that this is not only for the vocational, means some particular skill. Have to learn the skill, that local skills they have to learn. They must have the dignity of labor and respect for the this art and artisans of the local level.
Correct.
So this is the good thing that NEP has added, and what Aditi was speaking, that how far it is going to be implemented and how can it be implemented once the teachers are not trained. That's true, but somebody has thought about it. This is the major shift that we have seen. Now the education is becoming child friendly, and somebody has thought about the students, that how the students will learn and what kind of students we are going to produce in future. That is the most important part, and Rome was not built in a day, so it will take time. 100% it will take time, but yes, now what we are preparing the future teachers in that term. So I am very sure that it will be implemented more effectively as it was expected. So today's session was very good. Whatever the assignments have been given, I want that the students must go through the major points of this NEP and should write a review. And as I said, that will be added in your internal assessment marks. So thank you, Jayant. Thank you very much. Thank you, Aditi. Thank you, Aditi, for arranging such kind of workshop, because very few